Business Insider. Mamdani says if the state won't tax the wealthiest New Yorkers, he'd have to tax the middle class as a last resort. Mayor Zohran Mamdani said a property tax hike is on the table as a last resort in New York City. Higher taxes on the wealthy is his preferred way to bridge the $5.4 billion budget deficit, but requires state buy-in. A potential tax hike could hit middle-class New Yorkers and renters. New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani says that if the state won't play ball on taxing the rich, he'll have to impose a higher tax of his own, and it could hit middle-class New Yorkers. At a Tuesday press conference, he laid out two options to address what he said is the city's $5.4 billion budget deficit left by the prior administration. In an effort to balance his preliminary $127 billion budget, Mamdani outlined two potential paths forward. The first, and Mamdani's preferred, relies on cooperation from New York Governor Kathy Hochul, increasing taxes on the wealthy and corporations, a cornerstone of Mamdani's campaign. Hochul has been lukewarm on the idea. Without Albany's willingness to hike income or corporate taxes, Mamdani is signaling he will need to turn to other measures to fund his budget. He's floating increasing property taxes for the city's residents, which would hit the middle and working classes as hard as his typical targets on Wall Street, alongside drawing from funds that the city keeps in reserve in case of an economic downturn. Mamdani called that option painful and a tool of very last resort, and said that his administration would continue working with Albany to avoid it. "This is a preliminary budget," he said at the press conference. "This is a budget that reflects the only tools that the city has at its disposal." What a New York City property tax increase would mean. If Hochul or Albany do not budge, Mamdani said he would increase property taxes by 9.5%.